for those of you who are still, wondering or questioning if Robert can do a good Batman and Bruce Wayne, I don't know how you could still think that after seeing this new footage. The way the panel started is that you had a nice little interview session with Matt Reeves, the director of the movie, Robert Pattinson, and Zoe Kravitz. And it was kind of cool, seeing them together. They were mentioning that this film has already been completed for some time now, but because of the pandemic, Robert and Zoe haven't seen each other in a while, and as they're seeing this footage coming out, they're getting to see it for the first time really put together, and it's getting exciting for them. And just like for us, we're getting excited seeing all of it. Matt Reeves is currently in post-production right now. They even gave us a little behind the scenes look at the filming and some of the stunts and all that. So that was really cool. They also had an opportunity to talk about their characters and what they're bringing to the role. Zoe, who is Selena Kyle, aka Catwoman there. This is the first time we're seeing this version of Catwoman on the screen. So in a way, she can set the precedence on her own as to how this character is going to play out. And we do see a lot of Selena in this new trailer. So I'm hoping that this could be a reoccurring character if this, series continues, where it could be a very nice duo between her and the Batman, Bruce Wayne. So it looks really interesting. Robert was talking about, again, how he approached the role, and kind of nice little interesting insight too, and how he auditioned for the role too. I don't know if this was previously reported, maybe something I may have missed, but during his screen test, he was actually wearing the Val Kilmer Batman suit. And after first putting that on and kind of going through the test and the audition, he was very doubtful he could continue, because being in that suit, and if you've watched the Val Kilmer documentary on Amazon, even Val mentions that you could hardly move and you could hardly breathe, and your acting is very limited because all you're seeing is this much of your face and you're like stiff as a board, right? But then, they ironed all that stuff out and they worked it out, and Matt, ever since that moment where he saw Robert in the bat suit, knew right away that's the Batman and he can pull it off. And Robert also mentioned that, this version of Bruce Wayne we're getting here has already been a year into the role of the Batman, but he's still just a year away from the events that led him to become this character, right? So he's dealing with a lot of emotion still. He has a lot of aggression inside of him, and you could see like he's very angry. There's a lot of rage within him, and it is portrayed as you watch the footage in the trailer. So then they hit us with the trailer, and my initial thought is that this definitely looks like they're going gritty here. Very gritty, very grounded is something, again, that they mentioned, that this is the version of Batman we're getting, a more grounded version. Matt Reeves, if you have watched the Planet of the Apes movies that he directed, you could kind of get that sense that those movies had a sense of realism, but it was also very dark and gritty and broody at times. And it looks like he's bringing that same styles to this movie, and I really dig it. I really, really do. And look, for those of you who are still, wondering or questioning if Robert can do a good Batman and Bruce Wayne, I don't know how you could still think that after seeing this new footage, because he just looks menacing and scary, and again, you do see the rage and aggression within him. Even the way he approaches his fighting style. Robert mentioned that as he fights, you could tell he's taking things very personal with each fight that he's in. And that kind of comes across in the new trailer that we get. He just looks very, and the voice, again, he has a way of making a mark as Batman for himself, and I think it's really going to work out really well in this iteration. We get a small a glimpse here and there of the Riddler, who I think is going to be the main villain. In a way, I get a sense he's kind of like the Joker in this movie. Very mysterious, very playful, but you could sense that there is danger. There's this element of evil there, right? He still does his like little riddle jokes here and there and clues. It really reminds me very much of, now if you've ever played the Batman Arkham games, I feel like he's a combination of the Riddler, Joker, and maybe Calendar Man. If you kind of put them all together, this is the version of the Riddler we're getting, and maybe a little like a splash of Scarecrow, right? Because again, it is very mysterious, and it looks like there's a lot of very ill intent behind his actions. And why is he so hard on into fooling around with Batman, right? So that was really, really good to see insights on. But I have to say, Colin Farrell as the Penguin. First of all, I have to remind myself each time that that's Colin Farrell, because he just does not look anything like him. He really transformed himself into this Penguin character, and the Penguin looks really, really interesting, and I'm kind of digging it. It's he's kind of like almost like a Kingpin. He kind of comes across as that, and you could tell that they're gonna have a lot of screen time together. It looks like the Penguin, I don't know if he'll be working in conjunction with the Riddler, or if this is just another villain that is gonna be a major part in this movie. But I'm digging it. It looks really, really good. I think it's gonna surprise a lot of us. I think Robert is gonna knock it out of the park, and I can't wait to check it out. It comes out March of next year. So I am really, really excited for that. I can't wait for that to come out. We also saw Jeffrey Wright's Jim Gordon just a little bit, in little scenes here and there. But yeah, it looks great. Gotham, then the city itself and the landscape and the environment looks really dead on. Get ready. I feel like I said, and I know we say this a lot, that each iteration of Batman is a little bit more grittier, but when you compare it to, like, when you're going from the campiness of the Adam West Batman to kind of like the dark, but at certain times whimsical Tim Burton Batman, then you got the more mature Batman with the Christopher Nolan Batman, right? This one looks hardcore. It just looks really hardcore and very gritty, as I mentioned before, and very dark. So I am really all in, and I can't wait to check it out. So again, as always, let me know in the comments what you guys think and all that. Is this something you're looking forward to? What are your thoughts on Robert Pattinson as Bruce Wayne, aka Batman there? Zoe Kravitz, how do you think that's going to play out? How do you think her portrayal of Selena Kyle is? I think she looks great, so I can't wait overall for it all. So